Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Sherry. Not only do we manage commercial property, but we also manage apartment buildings for several of our clients. Something that I have found frightening is how many landlords give free rein to their resident caretakers to essentially manage the building on their behalf. This is never a good idea. At a minimum, it would put your building at risk for theft and fraud. Some of the occurrences I've come across recently include a resident manager providing a rent roll to the landlord, but omitting parking and locker income, which they then conveniently pocket themselves. I've also noticed kiting, and this is when a caretaker borrows money from the cash flow of the building, but it's done without the knowledge of the landlord. They intend to pay it back, but many times it just never happens. Caretakers who charge extra for performing janitorial work in the building, the landlord actually pays for the work, but the work never gets done. A caretaker claiming that a unit is actually vacant, but it's rented on a short-term basis to either a friend, and the funds are going to the caretaker themselves. So it's essentially stealing from the landlord. Lastly, I've noticed that the rent for the caretaker's suite and some of their friends in the building are significantly below the market value. So this is a form of stealing as well. Last week, I talked about real estate not being a passive investment. Some of the occurrences I've just mentioned underscore why it is not a passive investment and why, as a landlord, you need to manage your caretaker and not have the caretaker convince you to leave the property in their hands without supervision. Offshore owners and owners who travel frequently are particularly vulnerable. This is Rod Fram for Radio Real Estate.